color of my energy. Whoa.
Oh, it's not green yet.
Oh!
Pretty good. Not as cool, Konner.
Oh. It's my bad.
No, it's cool, dude.
That's what they called me in middle school.
Hey, before we get into too much banter, all right, before we get down this rabbit hole we're about to go down, let's thank the people that allow us to be here.
You better hurry up. The banter is bursting at the seams.
I'm excited to partner with today's sponsor, Aura. Aura is an easy-to-use app that includes everything you need to stay safe online. They protect you from scammers and hackers by scanning the so-called dark web, where criminals sell stolen information, looking for your emails, passwords, social security numbers, and alerts you fast if it finds anything. They also help you fight back against those annoying websites that make your personal information public by automatically requesting the removal of your info so that you don't have to. This really helps reduce those robocalls. Aura also gives you near real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries, like if someone was opening a loan or a credit card in your name. I personally experienced this one, actually, because I have Aura set up for all of my personal accounts, and then I was opening a new credit card, and Aura is super simple. You go in, one click of a button, you can unfreeze it so that when you open a credit card, it goes with a breeze, and you refreeze it right after. Forgot to do it. So I go to open the credit card company immediately said decline. I was like, what the heck? But before they even responded, I see that on my computer. I'm like, what the heck? I pull out my phone, had a notification from Aura. Hey, someone's trying to open a credit card in your name. Was this you? If so, click here.
Dang.
I was like, oh, it was me.
Fast and efficient.
It was not you.
It was me. And so I just opened it, unfroze, reapplied, got the credit card. That simple. Refroze it. So
very
Aura,
convenient.
Right there, I could see where wow. So if someone was trying to do that, would have frozen them in their tracks right there because they wouldn't be able to get access like I did. They also have a password manager, lets you store and access your online password securely and conveniently. Very useful because it's very frustrating how every website requires a different password now.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer one capital letter, one number, one special character. That works for some. Others are do whatever the frick you want. Others are like, you got to have a special knock, scream into the keyboard, and use your fingerprint to get into the stupid website. So you can put them all in one place.
Take a blood oath.
And if you want to start your free trial here, you'll be able to get 2 weeks free trial. Head over to aura.com/foundation disc golf to start your free trial. It's also linked below in the description. Again, that's aura.com/foundation disc golf. Thanks again for sponsoring the Bogey Bro Banter. The banter of Bogey Bros.
All I can think about is that prime.
I went down a rabbit hole this morning. Have y'all seen this FTX collapse thing that's going on?
Yeah, I've been hearing about it.
I don't know what that is.
All I keep hearing is that all these people are about to lose all their money and nothing's happened yet.
You already lost a lot of money. A lot of people lost money. So
okay.
FTX is basically like a crypto trading platform.
Okay.
That kid's going to jail, isn't he?
Surely. I don't think he's officially yet, but he's been arrested at this point. But
he has been arrested.
Yes, in the Bahamas.
Dang, sorry.
He was living in the Bahamas. So essentially, FTX was like this crypto trading platform. Started in 2019. By 2020, 2021, they had bought the Miami Heat stadium. They had their spokespersons are like Steph Curry, Tom Brady. I think David Letterman was one of them. Crazy big spokespersons. Apparently, they had a $100 million offer to Taylor Swift. I read online for her to be a spokesperson and all of this. And so I didn't understand what had happened. I still don't fully understand what had happened, but I decided this morning, because it's like the Enron of our generation to a certain extent. I decided this morning, I was like, I want to figure out what exactly happened, because essentially this company, if you go back to the summer, is worth like $32 billion.
Wow.
Massive, massive company.
That's a lot of dollars.
This dude who opened it is a billionaire. To within a week, they're bankrupt. From November 6th, I think was the timeline, to like November 11th, bankrupt. 32 billion bankrupt. And I was like, what happened? Because what ended up happening is, like, since they're a trading platform, they're also a bank, operate as a bank, right? And so a lot of people had their money tied up into investing with them, money stored with them, all of that, and can't withdraw now. So like average everyday people, some of them put their life savings into it, gone. Money's gone. Can't use it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, what the heck happened? Because I am always fascinated by that. Like, how does all this work? From what I understood, and this is going to be probably inaccurate to some extent, but hopefully it gives you a brief gist. And if you're interested in it like I was, read on it online. There's tons of articles. I read like 5 or 6 this morning and watched like a 10-minute video. And this was the gist I got from all of them. Basically, this dude, SBF is what he goes by. I forget his Sam Bankman-Fried or something like that, his real name. Young dude, he started a crypto hedge fund. This starts with the A. I forget what the word was, but he started a crypto hedge fund in 2016 2017, I believe it was.
Okay.
2019, he started FTX, which is a crypto trading platform.
Okay.
So then FTX grows. FTX had their own coin that they were using on the blockchain for a lot of their transactions called the FTT, was their token, right? So they had the FTT token. November 6th, it gets leaked on Twitter. This, I think it's like Abalera. I forget what the hedge fund, but the hedge fund's balance sheet got leaked, and they had a ton, like the majority of what they were managing was in this FTT token, which you never want a ton tied to one asset, because if that one asset crashes, what just happened, you lose all it's invested. So FTX, this is their token. His hedge fund heavily invested in the same token that's tied to it. Once that came out, then this Chinese company that is like the biggest crypto trading platform, they saw that, and it's a big red flag when all this shouldn't be that tied together. When it was all that tied together, and this crypto hedge fund had so much FTT, that token, it was a red flag. So it caused them to liquidate all of their FTT, which was like $530 million or something like that is what they had in this. So this company liquidates all of that, which then sparked a lot of red flags for your average everyday investors.
So everybody's selling it.
Of like, it's getting pulled. So this FTT token starts crashing. Well, once the FTT token starts crashing, then people started to get like a little bit worried about FTX itself. So this caused people to start pulling their money off the platform. FTX apparently was averaging like $10 million in withdrawals a day. So like a bank has a certain amount of cash reserved that's not being used elsewhere, so that when your average everyday person comes in and asks for money out, they can, you know, if you're getting $1,000 withdrawal, they have $1,000 to give you. But this happened during the 08-09 recession. It was like a run of the banks. Essentially, if too many people request their money out, they don't have it liquid, because it's being used elsewhere to make the bank money.
Right.
So they had $4 billion in one day requested to withdraw.
Oh my goodness.
$4 billion?
Across 2 or 3 days, they had $6 billion requested withdrawal. They didn't have it. They weren't liquid.
Kidding.
And on top of that, the FTT token, which a lot of money was tied into, was crashing.
Bruh.
So what happened now was this other crypto platform that had just sold all their FTT, which caused this crash to happen. FTX froze everyone's accounts. No one could withdraw from FTX, which caused even more hysteria, right? Because now I go in, I don't have any money with FTX, but if I did, I'd go in to withdraw $500 and your account's frozen.
Yeah.
It's your money, but they have the right to do it. You can't take your money out. So that causes even more hysteria. So now they're like, it's okay. Look, we're not liquid right now. We got to figure out a helpline, whatever. So because FTT token was crashed, there was basically, from what I understood, no way they were paying $6 billion back to the people trying to withdraw. So this other company, this other massive trading platform that sold the FTT token, was like, hey, we'll buy you out. We'll solve your liquidity crisis. We'll get you liquid funds, and we'll fix your balance sheets. Basically, we'll come in, provide with all the money you need, buy out FTX. It'll become a subset of us. We'll solve all of it. They come to a verbal agreement. That's posted all over Twitter. This is like November 10th, I think, somewhere in that range. So this is 4 days later. That quick it happened, where this company is now having to be sold to save itself. But it's a verbal agreement. It's a non-binding agreement. It might not have been actually verbal, but it's non-binding. So then this company starts doing their due diligence. And when they do, they find what to them seems to be clearly illegal handling of funds, where people's money was coming into FTX. And from what I understand, FTX was taking consumer money, giving it to this hedge fund, and investing it in the FTT token. Right? So basically money you put into FTX, from what I understood, was a lot of it was just being straight going to this hedge fund that he also owned. Then the hedge fund was just investing that money in the FTT token, which basically, as FTX grew, that token went up.
Yeah.
So that was the whole idea, is like, if FTX keeps growing, this money keeps growing. If you request your money out, we just boom, boom, move some numbers back, get you your money, not a big deal. Until the FTT token crashes, and where your money should have been in like safe, like loan investments and stuff like that, where it's very safe for a bank to do. Well, say it's very safe. Instead, it was being illegally just transferred straight to basically his personal hedge fund to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And then invested in his own token and going that way. So there wasn't a clear why. So basically, then this company sees that.
So it basically was like a roundabout way for him to buy his own stocks.
Basically, he was just taking your money and
Putting
then
in
using your money to make himself money
Inflating
with
his
a
own
different company.
Yeah.
crypto.
Okay.
So he was
okay.
just pulling money out of the company to another company to inflate his own crypto to make himself rich.
Gotcha.
So this company sees that, and then this is when it really hits. Then on November 11th, this company just pulls out and they cited like they seem to be mishandling of funds. They clearly this had to be illegal. I think there's an investigation going on. We're not touching this company. We're out.
Mm-hmm.
So then November 11th, the dude stepped down as CEO and filed for bankruptcy.
Wow.
So November 6th, November 11th. November 6th was the leak of the balance sheet of this hedge fund.
Literally,
November 11th, they filed for bankruptcy and he stepped down as CEO.
like obviously,
Dang.
it
Like that
clearly
fast.
the
That's
whole
crazy.
thing was on a crumbling pillar. Obviously, because of the way that they were basically banking on the coin, but the fact that all of that was started by a Twitter leak.
Yeah.
You take down a whole company with just one screenshot.
Well, because all that it seemed to
That's
really
insane.
have been was that it was just that this one massive, the biggest crypto trading platform in the world, I believe, is what they are, just liquidated this one token, which caused it to crash.
yeah.
So that big of a sell just caused it to crash, and then
And
once
they did
that
that because they were
crashed,
tipped off.
once that crashed, then FTX basically just didn't have money to pay out to all the people
So,
who
because
had
what
money with them.
I had been hearing, so I had heard like the athletes that were involved would obviously they were losing money because like they apparently like there people were saying that Tom Brady has like half of his fortune tied into this. I don't know how much of any of this is true, but then I also heard like, is there going to be legal repercussions for the athletes and celebrities that were endorsing?
So there was a class action lawsuit opened by investors in FTX, and it named Steph Curry, Tom Brady, David Letterman, all of them in the class action lawsuit. Whether or not that goes through, I don't know. I saw also a clip where Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, he was paid, I think, $15 million, if I'm not mistaken, to be a spokesperson for him.
Yeah.
And they were asking him of like, how did you not see this coming? Like,
Right.
because if you look at this dude, the CEO mastermind behind it, and you look at it in retrospect, knowing that like he basically was just stealing money, and like also, so there's a CEO that comes in, like when the bankruptcy happens, this CEO is there to like clean it all up and try to, I don't know if it's try to salvage what's left of the business. I don't know what his role exactly is. This is apparently the same dude that came in with an Enron in 2001. So basically when these type of huge money scandals happens, this dude's apparently the guy that comes in. And he was
It's a sick
testifying, I guess it was in front of Congress. I don't know. It's all happened so quick, obviously. He was testifying in front of someone. They were questioning him. And he was like, I've never seen such poor record keeping in my life. He was like, this is a multi-billion-dollar company using QuickBooks, which QuickBooks is like we use QuickBooks. It's like a small business accounting software. It's very good software. But if you're a multi-billion-dollar company, you have a line of several accountants. You aren't using QuickBooks. He's like, A, they were using QuickBooks, but B, most of their expense tracking was happening just via messages in Slack, where like someone would just like message in Slack of like what they spent money on back and forth, and like there was no record keeping. He's like, so basically from what I read too is $6 billion is what was asked to be pulled out, but I think their portfolio was much larger than that. That's what was like tried to be withdrawn from it. And from what I found, they've recovered $740 million. So like nowhere close to what they needed.
That's crazy.
And so the guy was like, was way less. The CEO, the new CEO was like, it's way less than we expected. Like we don't know where the money is basically. So
Oh
obviously
my
this guy's
gosh,
being
that's
charged
crazy.
because he was just taking money and lining his own pocket in a roundabout way. And there's obviously way more to be come out of it.
Probably get charged with
Well,
embezzlement,
this is the
defrauding,
thing.
like misleading the shareholders.
There's basically two ways this goes down,
fraud.
because this dude was brushing shoulders with like every powerful person in the world, it seemed like, and had billionaires like Mr. Wonderful like vouching for him in a lot of ways, to where like that when Mr. Wonderful was asked like, how did you not notice? He's like, a lot of it was like there was a group of them that were going in and investing, and each of them, I think, just expected the other people to have already done their due diligence to a certain extent. So like it was kind of like if you have a friend who's like super knowledgeable with finance and
If they
he
show
tells you an
investment,
idea, you probably aren't likely to check that idea. So basically one of them had met with SBF and just trusted him, and then they all kind of like hopped on it together because someone else, they didn't have a technical CFO. And so they asked Mr. Wonderful about that. They're like, how did you, because Mr. Wonderful invested like tens of millions of dollars into FTX and it's just gone.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, why did you do that for a company that doesn't even have a CFO? And he was like, well, you have to realize they had a CFO. It's just, this is a super young company. So like roles don't mean anything to them.
Yeah.
So like the CFO just wasn't titled, he just wasn't called a CFO.
Right.
But they also like didn't have an independent board, which like a company that big always has a board that they're answering to. It was just this dude. Because they're a 3-year-old company. That was the other thing that was crazy is like, how does a 2-year-old company sign a like 10-year, because this is when they were 2 years old, they signed like a 10-year deal with the Miami Heat to buy the stadium, the FTX.
Gosh.
And like, so the Miami Heat stadium is like the FTX stadium.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And that was like a year or two ago. That's what people were like, how did a 2-year-old company even do that? But if you look at him, like you look at this guy and you hear him talk now and you know he's full of crap. And you're like, how did this dude fool anyone? Because like average everyday investors, you were hearing Tom Brady tell you to invest money in this.
Yeah.
But the big rollers, the Kevin O'Learys of the world, he was the second highest donor to the Democratic campaign. It was like Bloomberg, who's like big money, and then Sam from FTX. Like that's how much money this dude was like moving through.
Dang.
And so he's brushing shoulders, obviously being that big of a donor with a lot of politicians, a lot of billionaires.
Well, that's
how did all of them just like not smell this guy out?
Yeah.
And there's a text chain with Elon Musk where SBF was offering, I think he was offering them like $5 billion or like a loan or something. And Elon in like a Twitter space, basically just in the Twitter space, this is after it's all went down. So it was asked like, why didn't you take the loan? He's like, I just knew he didn't have the money. He's like, I don't know why other people thought he did, but you could just tell like he didn't have the money he was telling me he had. He's like, so I just didn't trust it, so I didn't do it. Dang. I'm like, how is Elon Musk the only billionaire, the only guy out there that like looked at this guy and like smelt him out? Like, something's not lining up.
He's just rich enough that it's easier.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, because you like
the money didn't tempt him.
Also, I think honestly, what it might come down to too is like a guy like Elon. I think is very versed in the crypto field, where I think crypto is still maybe a little bit foreign to guys like Kevin O'Leary. I'm not going to say they're amateurs in it because they're professionals, but it might be just foreign enough that maybe that's where they slip up a little more. But
well, that's what. So I mean, realistically, I think there's one of two ways it goes. Either because he's brushed shoulders with such powerful people,
he knows all these people, he might not be going to jail.
He's either walking scotch free because like was anyone who's powerful involved in any of this, or he's made an example of, and he's the fall guy,
right?
And he's getting like
he's going away.
Because the other thing that I heard is obviously crypto is unregulated. It terrifies governments, right? This dude is a very young guy who, because of how much wealth was just lost by Americans, because it was just an American-based company. That's another reason Kevin O'Leary said he loved it so much, was because it was American-grown, American-based. That's the other thing, is both of his parents are compliance lawyers.
That's hilarious.
So both of his parents,
that is hilarious.
Their day jobs are basically like everything that to catch people like him. So Kevin O'Leary said like that was another thing, was like, it was almost a question of like, you didn't even think it was possible because his parents are compliance lawyers. Like his parents would know every rule in the book, and you would think their son's following every rule in the book.
That is hysterical.
His parents, I think, are tied to it a lot.
But he just knew how to get away with it.
But yeah, there's still so much that's going to come out of it, but I was just fascinated by it. But I think that, and there's a lot of speculation that what's going to end up happening is he's going to be made an example of, so that the government can enforce a lot of regulations on crypto, which makes sense. I mean, crypto, to a certain extent, from the government's point of view at least, should be regulated, because it would help stuff like this from not happening, obviously. But the whole point of crypto is unregulated. Like that's the whole point, is you can't regulate the blockchain. So it's a very interesting thing that I found fascinating. It kept popping up on my TikTok, and I finally was like, I need to dig into this and see
crazy.
What the heck it is. Because sometimes with like finance stuff that's illegal, when it gets explained, like you can't figure out what was illegal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like at the end of the day, what he did with like money came in, transferred to this business, invested it crashed, he lost the money. Like if that happens in like a normal business where you're selling someone a product and you give them a deliverable and then you just make a bad investment and you go out of business, nothing illegal happened. But when in the finance world,
it gets all
there's
trickier.
so much of like laws and stuff. Because like if people bought a bunch of discs from Foundation, right, and then we had all this money and it was like profit, and I took the money out of the business as the owner, and then I threw it all into whatever stock I wanted, and that money crashed and I lost it all. Completely legal. I just lost all my money, right? Because the customers bought discs and they have those discs.
Yeah.
Right.
What would become illegal is the customers buy discs. I take all that money, don't send them the discs, invest it, it crashes. Then they're like, hey, you didn't send us the disc. I need our money back. And then I'm like, I ain't got your money. I also don't have the disc to give you. You get nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's illegal. And that's essentially more or less what happened just with crypto. It's wild stuff though.
That is
Very
crazy.
wild.
Because it also
So
like
much money.
watching interviews and stuff, what a lot of people were saying too is he intentionally used a very technical vocabulary to where if you knew the words he's using, he doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But to the average person and like to some of the average to investors, like you were saying, who aren't familiar with crypto or whatever, like words he would use, if you are a person who like doesn't want to seem dumb, like I think sometimes he just talked circles around people to where like people just like trusted him because they didn't want to feel dumb and ask him, what do you mean by what you just said? Because there's an example after he's been caught, because that's the other thing is he got caught with all this, right? His lawyers told him, don't speak to anyone. And this dude went on a press tour. Like went on Fox News, Good Morning America.
Gosh.
And like in every interview, he was like telling people like, yeah, my lawyers don't want me talking to anyone, but like, I just want like the truth to get out there. Like I want to let people know, but like he's full of crap. Like, I don't know if this dude knows he's full of crap. Sometimes I'm wondering like, does he know what he did was wrong? Who knows? He could just be a psychopath. But George Stephanopoulos from like Good Morning America, I think he's on Good Morning America. He was asking him and like asked him a straightforward question. And the dude came back with a bunch of like mumbo jumbo. And George, like in the middle of it, was like, look, I don't really know what you just said, but I know you didn't answer my question. I think he was literally saying like, did you or did you not know this was illegal? And the dude went to like, well, you know, the over liability, over liquidate, blah, blah, blah. And then George was like, look, I don't know what you said, but I know you didn't answer my question. Dang. Did you or did you not know? And I was like, dang, man. Like, it was pretty crazy stuff.
That's
crazy stuff.
You should see if you can get him on the Trevor Staub show, Trevor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of his press tour.
Yeah.
But like, he was going on, like, he was like meeting with, like, talking in front of like big stages, meeting with like CNN, like on different news, the Fox News, on different networks and stuff, like interviews and stuff prior when he was like the crypto savior in a lot of ways. And he's just in like a ratty t-shirt and short, like nothing about him gave like finance smart vibes. And part of it, I think, is what like was so attractive to the crypto audience too, is like it is anti-finance smart vibes, like anti-finance establishment vibes is crypto. And so like to a lot of it, he was like a crypto dude. Like, he was like a crypto bro through and through, like more programmer than finance. But like I like watching it after the whole aftermath, you like listen to what he's saying and like watching him, just like, how did so many people fall? Like, how did so many up top investors fall for it? Because like average everyday people like me, like I have some money in Coinbase for my crypto stuff. I just chose that because I did a little bit of research and just picked one. Easily could have went to FTX. Yeah. Easily, because like, why wouldn't you go with the one that Steph Curry, Tom Brady's all talking about? It's on the side of the Miami Heat Stadium. Like average everyday people who are getting screwed in this. Yeah. Obviously they put money into it. Right. But yeah, it's wild.
That is crazy.
Wild stuff.
If you guys had a crypto, what would it be called?
I would call it...
I think like bank coin would be good, but it's kind of hard to say. Bank coin.
Yeah, it's got to be like...
And also, catchy, people don't have positive associations with banks, so I don't think you should say bank.
I would call mine... Is there already such a thing as e-currency? Is that just like already a slang term for...
Surely. Sounds familiar.
I don't know.
Why is I'm thinking of eHarmony. Does e-currency already exist? So I like it.
I think I call mine Capcoin.
Capcoin? It's just all fake?
It's all cap.
I think I would go with...
because like I'd put a cap on how much is out there so that I actually had like real value.
Is just electronic currency. I don't care. I'm going to...
Just make it eCoin.
eCoin? I kind of like eCoin.
eCoin is good.
Yeah. No, I'm going coins.
The coin. I'm going with the coin.
The coin. There you go.
Dang.
I'm going decoin.
Decoin?
Like decoy.
I think
He's not even going to hide. He's just going to defraud you.
I've got two options. One of them is more of like a get the. One of my options is Dude Dime.
Dude Dime.
But then if I want to do one that's more mainstream that will appeal to everybody, Day Dime.
Day Dime. Mine's just gonna be called Paper.
Dang.
But it's gonna be.
But it's not.
It's gonna be like
Cash Coin.
PAPR.
Cash Coin.
Paper.
There you go.
No E.
iCash.
There's no E because it's not
eCash.
Like,
eCash.
It's not like the other e-currencies, so there's no E. It's just paper with the
But
R.
it's cash like CACHE.
Yeah. Oh, cash.
Whoa.
Who's just cash?
Cash Coin.
I'll cash you,
right
man.
Now?
What?
I feel like absolutely delirious.
Konner, I got to confess to you, man. This morning we went out and shot disc reviews, and it was very cold out. And we went to the warehouse after, right, to film some like
I didn't
promo
realize you were
stuff.
gonna tell him this. I'm embarrassed.
We all stopped buying out hot chocolates at a gas station, and it was incredible. It might be the best hot chocolate my lips have ever touched.
Now, what is that? What does him knowing that help?
It's because I don't feel like I'm hiding anything from him.
I did feel.
I
a lot
appreciate
of guilt.
that.
I'm out there now. This is
No,
real.
I get it.
Me.
You
I'm
guys-
exactly who I'm supposed to be.
I feel.
I am not upset
I'm
at
gonna
you
let the
guys.
light go ahead and shine on me.
You guys had to get hot chocolate.
Yeah. Now
I wasn't
found
there
who
to
I
get the
am.
hot chocolate. What are you supposed to do? You know?
Yeah.
Like you could have brought me a hot chocolate, but it would have been cold. It would have been cold by the time we got here.
Yeah.
You know what I do? It makes me feel better knowing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I figured it would. So I figured I would tell you it.
Because whenever I didn't know,
You could tell. You could tell like we were hiding something.
He walked in. He was like, "Ooh, they're just."
He's like,
I
"Man."
know they were drinking hot chocolate.
it's dirt bags.
I can smell it. I can smell
That
the
first hot
chocolate.
smell
chocolate
the
of the year,
chalky.
always like you always drink.
That
it,
was
you're
your
like,
first hot chocolate of the year.
Yeah.
Wow.
And how many have you had?
I could a solid 10 to 12 at least.
No, I don't.
When did I
I
have
don't
hot
have any in
chocolate?
my house right now.
I get it at Sheets.
But like usually I have one, and I'm thinking to myself, why am I not having this every day?
It's
And
so
then-
good.
Okay, here we go. All right. This is a great Banter topic here. I need your help. So I've been trying to get myself in the Christmas spirit lately because I just haven't been feeling it as much this year. I think it's because I've been so busy, but I've been mainly busy with Christmas events, so I don't know why I'm not in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, what's your
So I've been forcing myself to listen to Christmas music every time I'm in the car. That helps. That really does help. I also bought
kind of medical condition.
It really helps.
It really
It's
does
helping
help.
my
yeah, it
condition.
is helping. It's getting me through at least. And then I bought Gabby's last Christmas present yesterday. That helped because it made me excited about the presents.
Yeah.
I wasn't super excited about it before because all our other presents suck, but this one's cool.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit more into it. But like, what do you guys think I can do to get more in the Christmas spirit? I've got a Christmas party for my youth group tonight, so I've got to be Christmased up by then.
What are you wearing to the Christmas party?
Pajamas.
Christmas pajamas?
Yep.
That'll definitely
Why'd you
help.
hesitate?
I mean, they don't say Christmas on them.
What's
but-
on them? What's on the pajamas?
I mean, they're like plaid, like
That
red,
helps.
like red and green pajamas.
yeah, that'll help. Putting on Christmas pajamas
That
helps
does
a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you drinking coffee out of?
Ooh.
I just haven't.
This guy's an
I haven't
expert.
been having a lot of coffee lately.
Okay, well you need hot drinks and
Okay.
you need candy cane somewhere on the mug.
Okay.
That would help.
Not an
Okay.
actual candy cane. The mug needs to have a candy
Does
cane
third
decoration.
wave have candy cane mugs right now?
I don't think so.
Dang it.
I also
Can
have
I
a Grinch
draw?
mug.
Can I draw it on there?
Sure. I have a
Okay.
Grinch mug. That helps too because it's like your Christmas mug. Mm-hmm. So when you're drinking out of it, you know, like I ain't drinking out of this middle of July.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm taking this sip in the morning. I'm like, oh, it's Christmas.
That is true.
You have you having peppermint flavored drinks?
It sounds like you're just not even trying.
It sounds
That's
to
what
me
I'm
like you're
saying.
not even
This
trying
is
to
why
have a
I
Christmas
needed
tree.
this. It feels like I haven't been trying
How many-
either.
have you had
I
a
think I
Christmas
haven't
in a
had
cup?
the free time to be. Well, I have Christmas
This
cup
is the
year
problem.
round.
This is the other problem.
I ordered a Christmas cup from the
Which
Muse
that's fine.
year round.
That's fine because I'm a Grinch watcher year round, right?
Okay.
He's a
but
Grinch watcher
then
year-round.
I can't. The Grinch, right? For me, can't be a Christmas movie now. So the Christmas
is a
in a
tough
cup
place
can't
to
be your
be.
Christmas drink because I watch it year round.
That is
Yeah.
just an
You have
interesting
to have
place
specific-
I need something peppermint.
You have to have
You're
specific
right.
things that when December or for me November hits, I am now allowed to watch Home Alone. I don't watch Home Alone unless it's November or December. I don't watch A Christmas Story. I'm trying to think of other ones that are great Christmas. I don't watch any Hallmark, obviously, unless it's December. Elf. I don't watch Elf.
Okay.
Unless it's December. Because like The Grinch is not gonna like kick me into Christmas gear.
Yeah,
because
no.
I watch it all year.
He's
So
numb
Christmas
to
in a
it.
cup for you.
He's numb to it.
Christmas in a cup for you isn't gonna kick you into Christmas gear.
No,
You need to get a peppermint mocha
I need a peppermint mocha.
or a peppermint hot chocolate.
Just don't go to
Does,
McDonald's.
does the
Have
Muse have a
anymore.
peppermint
You can
mocha?
go to Corduroy. I was in there the other night.
Corduroy's good. Hey, what'd you think?
Is
It was
this
great.
the
I
new
had
place?
I had cold brew. It's
What,
fantastic.
their cold brew is good?
Is
but-
this the new
Nice.
place?
Yeah,
It's
In
good.
Little Dickens, really good.
Yeah, in Little Dickens.
They have a
Little
drink
Dickens.
there. I
Is
can't
it Little
have
Dickens or is it Givens Books?
Both.
Okay.
So it's Little Dickens, Givens Books.
And the Drowsy Poet, but now Corduroy.
Now no longer Drowsy Poet.
So now it's
Corduroy.
Givens
Jan
Books,
Levin's
Little
Little
Gold.
Dickens.
Dickens. Little Dickens is
But
the
not-
toy store.
No more gold.
Oh,
Givens
okay,
Books
okay,
is
okay.
the books.
Is the books, and then we got
Corduroy's the
Corduroy's.
coffee.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
Great coffee place name.
I got their cold brew, fantastic. But I can't have this drink. But it looked like a very Christmassy drink.
That had
Okay.
It was like a
marshmallows in it.
toasted marshmallow something latte.
That did look good.
So you've seen it?
Oh, it's like a campfire latte or
yes.
something. Yeah.
So they make it. Then he takes a handful of not the mini marshmallows, but the like mini marshmallows. You know what I mean? Where they're not the full size, but they're like this.
Sure.
Handful of those on top, where it's
Torch
like
it.
over top, butane torch out.
Yep.
That sounds
toasted-
like it
toasted
would
marshmallows.
really get me in the Christmas mood.
Christmassy.
I'm gonna
Go
need
in
to
there
get
and grab the night before Christmas off the shelf, drank a little s'mores latte, and read the night before Christmas.
Every day. Twice a
No,
day.
you just got to this type of stuff. You hit it each once,
You hit it
Yeah.
once.
and
Yeah.
like every time you're like your heart starts growing a little more. Mm-hmm. Next
3
thing you
times.
know,
Just
like the
it's
Grinch.
3 times. Yeah.
Just like the Grinch, but Grinch isn't Christmas anymore though.
Not for
for
him.
everyone else.
For me, it is.
Yeah. Like you watch the live action Grinch.
Watch the live action.
I do love that movie.
Jim Carrey will get you in.
I
it.
love Jim
He'll get you
Carrey.
going. The animated Grinch still gets me Christmassy. The
The
live
new
action one I
Okay.
watch
What about
so
the
much.
new animated Grinch?
That's what I'm saying. The new animated Grinch.
Oh, okay.
Old animated Grinch. If I'm watching an old Grinch, I'm watching Jim Carrey.
As in like the original Grinch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. The new animated one though, very Christmassy. Gets me
it's
in the
very
spirit.
Christmassy. Yeah, I needed that. You know what? You made me realize that I just haven't really been
Start
trying.
wearing
trying.
a Santa hat too. I think if
That's
you
a
start,
that's a good idea.
you
I don't
put a
have a
Santa
Santa
hat-
hat.
if you start wearing a Santa,
Do you have a
hat
Santa
around-
hat?
Of course I do.
What do you mean? Does he have a Santa hat? Stupid.
What do I?
If you put a
start-
Santa hat on,
If you start wearing
You
that
will
to
feel
work,
like Christmas.
'cause
I will wear a Santa hat every day
you don't
at
have to
work
wear
the
it
rest of the
to
year.
work. You don't even have to wear it out of the house. If you just like put it on at home and look in
Yeah.
the mirror,
That feels a little ridiculous for me.
really.
Oh.
I think I would
That's
rather wear it to
ridiculous for
work.
you?
I think I'd rather wear it to work.
I also break out the Grinch pajama pants around this time of year.
Christmas pajamas
Those are big.
do help a lot. I think. I don't.
I think I'm just gonna have to turn myself in order to make me feel I'm gonna have to go the extreme way, and I'm gonna just dress super Christmassy to work.
That's fine too.
I've got some green and red like sweatpant things that are just hideous. I'll wear them tomorrow.
All right. There you go.
I see. Look at that.
Thank you.
A
Thank you. That was
Christmas-
very helpful.
A Christmas step a day keeps the spirit at bay.
No.
It keeps
That means it
spirit
holds it back. I need to be released.
makes the
Oh,
spirit
no, I
go
got it. I
yay.
got it. I got it.
Oh, okay.
That's great. Let's go with that one. What I was going to say is much worse. Christmas
Oh,
step
no.
a day keeps the Grinch away.
Ah, yes.
yes.
But yours is way better. I don't
And
even,
eventually the Grinch is a nice boy.
but it's post Christmas. That's like Christmas Day.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
We're just working our way to Christmas.
We're working our way to Christmas. Leading
I
up to
didn't-
Christmas, you want to get the Grinch out of there. He's going to
I
steal your
did not
presents,
open
steal
my
your joy.
advent. I have a 12 days of Christmas advent calendar with
Advent calendars are huge.
that
for
is a
Christmas spirit.
fishing
And you didn't open
bait
it yet?
box. I didn't open it last night.
Why?
We got home late from the
problem?
Christmas party.
You can't just pop it
and
open. It's a
there,
lure.
There
not
was
gonna take you any time.
There was a lot going on in our house. There was a
Unbelievable.
lot of stuff going on. I can't remember what it was, but we were in a frenzy.
Wow.
And then
we
I
don't
got
need to know any more details.
Yeah, dude. Keep that crap at home.
Yeah,
dude.
keep that stuff at home. We walked into Fresh Market yesterday because I was getting some desserts for a Christmas gingerbread house contest I was going to.
nice.
We lost for sure. Graham crackers way easier than actual gingerbread houses. I suggested the graham crackers and no one wanted it. And then we got there and everyone was
Stupid.
getting so stressed out about the things. I was like, dude, if these
Now
are
they
graham
know.
crackers, they'd stand up. But
Dang.
in Fresh Market, they had a 12 days of Christmas coffee advent calendar.
Ooh.
Probably a bunch of burnt crap. Though,
It was
right?
all burnt crap. It was like French vanilla, like oil,
Yeah.
oil flavored.
Might as well just test some
roast.
essential oils for coffee. Come on.
Dang straight. You're right. But I was like, man,
109 no coffee.
if I could get like the 12 pour overs of Christmas, if someone's making that,
Wow, that's a good
I
nim
don't know
too.
why no one's making
You
that.
gotta hit up your-
They got to be
You
making
gotta hit
it.
up your
They have
roast
to. Look it
master
up.
friend.
Look it up.
I'm going to search 12 pour overs of Christmas.
Hit up your roast master friend.
Well, I need to hit him up or my brother. Because, it's too late this year.
What's a cool nickname for a coffee drinker?
A beanhead.
Beanhead. What about like Dirt Mouth?
I don't know any of these brands. I don't know if they're specialty or not. But like Copper Cow Coffee has a holiday sampler advent calendar.
Hey, Bean Boy.
Well, okay, they said new Holly Jolly Java every day, which makes me
Java,
immediately throw them out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard a specialty coffee person say Java. I think Java's a region. I think it's a region that's been associated with coffee and now just gets used as coffee. Kind of like mocha.
I just know the Java chip.
Yeah.
So Java
it's
could
just
be on
chocolate.
the other end of the spectrum, though. Maybe it's like it's literally from that area.
Surely not.
Maybe it's overrated. What's an
Carabello
underrated,
coffee.
overrated product?
I also don't know if they're specialty. Let's see.
Tasty.
Standout single origins. Good start. Limited
Ooh.
releases to Grand Cru
It says
coffees.
2 small pours or 1 full Chemex.
2 ounces of 60 grams of coffee. It's a lot of coffee for one day. And coffee lineup. Here we go.
Wow.
Okay, this seems to be specialty coffee.
Yeah, those look very intense.
When the names
Give it to me straight.
The names when the name has the word washed in it or natural,
Ooh.
you immediately know like that's talking about the process of coffee. No one else gives 2 fricks unless you're a specialty coffee person. Like this one, Costa Rica Las Lejas Black Diamond Honey. That could mean a few things. Could mean it has honey flavors. Most likely what it means is it's honey processed, which means they use honey it's not just water processing it. They use honey in it, which like really adds some sweetness in there. So that could be fascinating. A Bali Kintamani, I don't even know how to say that word. Corona Global Washed. Oh, they have anaerobic in here? Yeah, these people know what they're doing. Columbia Experiment, either that or they're ruining a lot of good coffees. Columbia Experimental Anaerobic Fruit Fermentation.
Oh, whoa.
Fruit
Bro,
fermentation. I haven't
this
had a
is-
fruit fermented coffee.
This is insane.
Bella Bourbon Natural from Nicaragua. So that's interesting. It could be bourbon processed. We had this at Third Wave. We got a coffee in once that was, I believe it was, I forget what word it was, but essentially the greens coffee was stored in an old wine barrel
That's cool.
for years. Then it was like sent out. I don't know if it was like, what part of the pre-shipment process was. Like I don't know if it was like during the actual processing or if like a company bought green coffee and stored it in the wine barrel. But when you got it in, had a lot of like wine-esque flavors, which for me was like grape juice-esque flavors.
Yeah.
Very good coffee.
That's
It was
cool.
very cool how it worked like that. Bella Bourbon Natural from Nicaragua. Kenya Kagamuini washed from Nairi. Pretty good, I'd imagine. I love Kenyans. Ethiopian. I also love Ethiopian coffees. Natural Ethiopian. That'd be good. This seems like it'd be pretty good. 125. 12 days of coffee.
125?
Well, it's specialty coffee.
I know. It makes sense.
And it's 2 pour overs a day.
I mean, yeah.
So that's 24 cups of coffee for 125.
No, that makes sense.
That's like $5 $5 a cup.
Whenever I was just
makes
thinking
sense.
about an advent calendar, it sounded like an expensive advent calendar.
I think I need more advent calendars.
No, they've got that. I'm not going to buy it because it's the 14th right
I want
now.
like 10
but
advent calendars a year.
I need to get my wife an advent calendar so I don't feel as guilty whenever I open my advent
They're
calendar.
so much fun. Who doesn't love a good advent? I got one this year. It's fun.
That's
But
cool.
I want more. I tried to get another one at our Christmas party, and then Eli stole it from me.
You try to get
Or
another one.
Cohen stole it from me.
I haven't
you-
had
after
an
you
advent
stole it from
calendar in
me.
a long time. We used to always have just like a chocolate advent calendar.
We had a chocolate one last year. That was fun.
Can't go wrong.
Jason was telling us at the warehouse that they
He
always
does a
had
bunch.
Yeah.
a bunch of advent calendars that had advent calendar songs.
Jason's
Yeah,
got a
they have a
fun
song they play during
house.
ad-
That's the thing.
Yeah, Jason does have
there's
a
a lot
fun
of
house.
fun.
We
I
gotta
want
get
to
it.
have a
Jason's
fun house
house.
like Jason's house.
Yeah, me too.
Honestly,
As my kids grow up.
Our house is
Jason's
not a
got a
fun
fun
house
house.
this year. We just like we've had so much going on, and it's been since Thanksgiving. And before that, we've just been nonstop something every single night, and so it just doesn't feel like we've been able to like really enjoy.
I think
like,
part
our
of
Christmas.
it is you got to throw yourself in the hustle and bustle of Christmas
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Like you need to get out there and brush some shoulders with people at Dick's Sporting Goods.
yeah. We need to go. We need to go shopping.
Like
we need to go shopping.
If you haven't
Christmas
pushed-
shopping in person, like there is. 'cause,
Yes,
like, obviously
that is what does it
everybody-
for me because that's my favorite part about
Everybody
Christmas.
does it online, and like I do most of it online. But even just getting a few gifts in person, that does help.
It's key to have people you buy for that you don't like. There's some things like when I bought y'all's gifts, I knew exactly what I was getting you, and I couldn't get it in person. It was going straight online. But like my mom and dad never know what I'm getting them. My nieces this year, no idea what to get them. So my nieces, We just went to Little Dickens, walked around. Electric time.
Electric.
My mom, we bought for her birthday. We haven't bought for Christmas yet, but typically what we end up doing is just going to like anywhere that sells candles, walk around. But like
electric.
That hunt.
Actually, not electric because they're candles.
True. Or electric candle warmer. It could be electric.
Electric.
That hunt and getting in the hustle and bustle when a lot of people are out, crucial for the Christmas spirit.
I think
if you haven't
next
pushed
week,
a kid off of a dry fit that you want to buy for someone, it's not Christmas yet.
That's a good
Christmas
point.
yet.
I need to go do that.
You got to get into that capitalism a little bit.
The only this is the first time that I've like shoulder checked someone. It was unintentional this time, but like I used to do it in basketball all the time, like lowering my shoulder into someone and like getting them off me.
Yeah.
And at the turkey trot at the beach, the Gobbler 5K that I ran,
You shoulder checked a guy.
I accidentally shoulder checked a guy. Hardcore.
What
I was trying to get around. So the start of the race, everyone just is like clustered.
It's a mob.
And you've got to get to where people are running your pace. So typically you got to get a little bit farther forward than you are now.
The sign thing at this one, that's the key.
And so for me, I just was like, I had 2 strollers blocking me. I was like, I got to get around these strollers. So I like am zigzagging back and forth. I can't find a way out. And finally I like see a gap. And I guess I saw a gap at the same time someone else saw a gap. So I sidestep. And I basically Euro stepped and lowered my shoulder into someone.
Dang.
And I like hit the dude like this as I was running. I turned and he looked at me like, I'm so sorry. Like we were running because obviously I wasn't sacrificing my pace to apologize. He's like, no. And then we just kept running. It was fine.
Oh, okay.
But there was a moment there where I was like, I might have just started a fight. I was like, when it happened, like I was behind the stroller and I stepped and I guess he was stepping at the same time. And I guess I just had a little more force in my step than him. So he bounced off me. I was like,
absolute
oh,
collision.
frick.
Dang.
All that to be beat by like a 10-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah, they're fast.
It's pretty good though.
They're fast.
I think that next week will be good because we don't have something going on every night. Next week it's like pretty open-ish.
And it's the week of Christmas.
And it's the week of Christmas. So like
it really starts getting.
I'm gonna say let's go to the mall because I ordered Gabby some stuff from a store and one of the things I'd be okay returning. So I think I'm gonna go to the mall, return it, and shop for something because I need the in-person shopping. I need
You do.
it. It makes me feel like it is Christmas time because I just got speech jammed. I just wonder what she's trying to say.
Do you actually? Because you can find out.
I feel like it's being censored for some reason.
Well, if you ever have questions, man,
But
know a guy that knows a guy.
my favorite part of Christmas was always my family all going to the mall and splitting up to get everybody's presents. So
That's a
like,
cool tradition.
I need to bring some of that into next week.
You gotta,
As Brooks gets older, have you decided these are the Christmas traditions from either your childhood you're carrying over, or you adopting any of Kenzie's, or y'all forming some new ones?
The thing is, neither of us had any that were like incredibly set in stone. Like, and a lot of the ones that we do have are very minor. For instance, we always ate cinnamon rolls in the morning.
Yeah.
That is not a tradition.
That's a big tradition in my household.
Right. So that was a big deal for me growing up, but it's not one that is like super conflicting with anything. Like what?
No.
Like even if Kenzie had another breakfast food she ate, we could just have both. It wouldn't even be that difficult. So I don't think either of us have any that are like super compromising. Now, one that she has that we didn't was I think she had were like they were able to pick a present on Christmas Eve to open. That was not something we did.
I always try to convince my parents to do that.
Yeah.
They never let me.
So maybe we'll implement something like that. Like I think I don't know. I don't know if we've compromised on this yet, but in my mind, like we're certainly picking the present that they would get to open. Like I'm not about to have the main event. On Christmas
what
Eve.
you got to do is the main event's not under the tree. You can't risk that.
Well, that's true. I guess like the presents aren't going to be under the tree all year round, anyways.
No,
like
but Christmas
the ones
Eve
that are
they'll
important.
be under. But like,
when I grew up, presents did not exist. We like the siblings would put presents on, but like the big presents from Santa Claus were not underneath the tree until the morning.
Santa obviously wasn't under until the morning. My parents, though, as they wrapped, would put under, but like the PS4, the
big ones didn't go under.
Whatever the big gift was that year, that never went under the tree because they didn't want to risk of like forgetting where they put it and they hand it to us as like our second present and you open it and it's like, oh my gosh. And then the rest of Christmas is like a letdown.
Yeah. Right.
So it was always like open the gifts. And then there was always like this moment of like,
is there going to be a big one coming?
Is there a big one coming? Because some years there wasn't a big gift. Some years it was just like a normal Christmas. And then other years there was like the PS4 is coming and then they walk it out. And like, all right, one more thing. You're like, oh, oh, Jimmy, they might have got it. And he'd walk in with the PS4, and me and my brother just like lose our minds.
I feel like I'll do that a lot. We've got a pretty open template though. The big one for me is I'm gonna film every one of our Christmases because our Christmases were filmed from the time I was 2 years old to like 8. I have my Christmas from age probably 2
That's
or
a really
1
good idea.
all the way to age 20, like when I was married. So literally, we go back every year and on VHS tape have every single.
That's
Christmas.
crazy.
That's a good idea.
And they're not even, they're nothing too crazy. My dad would film them each year on a camcorder, an old camcorder, and it's a time capsule, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's something that like they started just probably on a whim. And now is like the most incredible thing. And so I'm going to film every single one of our Christmases.
Glad I asked because now I got something I'm going to do.
Because,
That's cool.
I mean, yeah, like the ability to be able to go year by year and watch yourselves age and be able to remember the magic of getting those presents is like that for me, honestly. When I think about getting in the Christmas spirit, that's what I'm missing right now is watching those tapes because I don't have them. My parents do. Watching those tapes every year and watching yourself get pumped over the presents and remembering like, oh, this is the year I get this and this. Incredible. So yeah, that's
very fun.
That's the main tradition.
Because like my parents, they definitely filmed some of the Christmases, and like every once in a while we'd find like an old home video and watch it and send them out, but it wasn't like a strict thing.
Yeah, ours is a yearly thing. We'd mark the tapes, and like each one would be kind of the same thing. Where
what are you doing for tapes? Are you gonna just like upload it?
We're gonna
to
digitalize
YouTube,
them.
Well, obviously. But
oh,
like,
for me, you're saying?
Like, how are you storing it to like, make sure you have it 20 years from now?
I'll probably double back it, so I'll probably put it on a hard drive and in a cloud.
Hard drive's a good idea.
But because like each one is like my dad would like pan and show because like the funny thing is too like we lived in different places for a little bit, so like you kind of get the like context of where we were, and then it would show us like coming down the stairs, and like each one kind of was the same but different, and like the first few my brother wasn't born. So yeah, I think it'll be
Those were the
fun.
days.
Yeah, those were the days, man.
Take us back.
I'll tell you
back
that.
to the shack, back to the strap with the lightning strap. Kick in the door, roll hardcore.
What is happening?
Let's rock out like it's freaking 94, huh? Take me back to the shack.
Summer of '69.
I love Camp Rock.
I think so. The only traditions that I think were for sure rolling over, because my family had like waves of traditions. Where like when we were all young, we had some. Then we were all teenagers.
I think we
had
just had a
some,
pretty typical
parents.
Christmas,
But like, definitely cinnamon rolls.
Yeah,
Christmas morning,
easy
100%.
one. Easy.
Christmas story before stockings, and my dad always read it out of Luke. I'll probably just do the same.
We did that as well. Yeah.
That stays. So before any gifts are given. One that I would like to keep, but it's kind of conflicting because so Lizzie's family goes to Lizzie's uncle's house every Christmas Eve after church. My family always did Christmas sugar cookies Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve night was we played Christmas music, we made sugar cookies, decorated the sugar cookies, and just ate them and watched a Christmas movie. Like it was just like
We do have a minor
fun
Christmas Eve tradition
thing.
of getting Chinese food because one year after the Christmas Eve service at church, it was snowing really bad and we thought nobody would be open for food, and somehow a Chinese restaurant was.
Last year,
and so we started getting it every year. On
last
Christmas
year
Eve.
we went. So Brody and Kelsey were in town. They lived here then, obviously, and so they came to the Christmas Eve service with my family. And then afterwards, we were. They were like, "Man, we're hungry. Y'all hungry?" We're like, "Yeah, but what's gonna be open?" And they're like, "Waffle House is always open."
Oh, that's a good one.
And we were like, "Oh, let's go to Waffle House." And so we show up to Waffle House. No, we didn't invite anyone from my family because my parents had left. Like we were sitting after church talking for a while. Roll into Waffle House, and as we're pulling in the parking lot, my sister and her family roll into Waffle House. So we just all are at Waffle House on Christmas Eve, and so that might have been a new
House
tradition.
at Christmas
I don't know.
Eve could be. That's a great one.
That was
a good
something
one.
fun because it was also cool. Like the workers
Well,
in there
not for
were
Konner though. He doesn't like breakfast.
the workers in there.
I love
at
Waffle
first
House.
were like they're not excited to be working Christmas Eve, but then they're not excited to have people coming in on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
But then when you get in
You
there,
gotta
and you
warm
start
them up.
chopping it up with them.
Yeah.
Then I mean, it was
It's a vibe.
electric.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it was.
Wow,
It was fun.
that's fun.
But Lizzie's family always goes to her uncle's house. So I don't know exactly. The other Christmas Eve tradition that we had was my parents. We could have done it any night, but Christmas Eve was always. My parents would let all of us siblings sleep together. We could pick whichever room.
Yeah,
And have a
Christmas Eve
sleepover.
sleepovers are hype.
Obviously, that can't be a tradition in our house until A, we have more than one kid,
gotta have
and
multiple
B,
kids.
they gotta all be sleeping on their own. So we're
Yeah.
years and years away from that.
I know.
But
Like, Christmas really isn't going to spice up until we get multiple older children going on.
One year, whenever I was like probably like 5 or so, this is whenever we lived at our farmhouse, like on all of our land. And in the woods, my parents had built like this treehouse thing, and I remember one Christmas night, me and my sister slept out in the treehouse, and it wasn't cold, and so, but it was so funny because like I remember so vividly trying to make myself sleep on like just it's so funny as a kid, like you just can't sleep. Like you're just so excited about it. It's hilarious.
Insane. It's the most Christmas Eve night like is the most restless night of the year.
Oh my gosh, and it always made me so mad in the morning whenever we would be like, all right, I would just be there waiting for everybody, like obviously wouldn't open them, staring at my stockings, like I see what's in my stocking, I want to hold it, and then we finally open our stockings, and then like our tradition was we did stockings, and then my mom already made breakfast, but then she heats it up in the oven because usually she makes a breakfast casserole or a quiche.
Like intermission?
Yeah, after that. And so I was always so pissed whenever I'm like, oh my gosh, who cares about the breakfast? Let's just go.
We were a post-breakfast.
Yeah.
We took way too long. We couldn't do breakfast after.
So my parents had a rule. I was not allowed to wake them up before 6.
Mm-hmm.
Oof,
6
we were
a.m.
7 o'clock.
was the line. They wouldn't let us. And then the rule was 6 a.m. we were allowed to wake my parents up. My mom and dad would walk. We had to sit at the top of the stairs. So me, Jimmy, and Heather would sit at the top of the stairs and just wait until we were allowed to be called down. And then my mom would go make a pot of coffee for her and my dad, because obviously none of us drink coffee. My dad would go get the fire started. So he'd already have the wood in the garage, get the fire rolling. And then my mom would lay out the stockings where we sit. Like each of our stockings, we'd sit on the couch. And then we'd come down.
Same.
They'd tell us we'd come down. We'd sprint down the stairs, run into the living room. And then my dad would like make us have a sit down, read the Christmas story out of Luke. Then we could open the stockings, then presents.
Christmas stockings are underrated.
During presents, my mom would go put the cinnamon rolls in when she knew it was like starting to wrap up. So then as soon as presents were over,
boom,
cinnamon rolls were ready.
Cinnies are ready.
Yeah. We throw down some cinnamon rolls, and then it's just rest of the day is just whatever toy, puzzles, whatever you got, you're just sending
type, dude. I hope I get some cool toys for Christmas this year. There's always that pressure of like, you had some, I think I said this before, but you have some Christmases where your gifts were like guaranteed. Like you're usually like Christmas meant you were on Christmas break from school. So like you were going to be home for a bit. And like some years you'd have presents where you're like, I have endless entertainment for Christmas break.
Yeah,
this is going to be awesome. Like if I got a Wii or a new PlayStation, like you are having the Christmas break of a lifetime. But then there are some years where you would get like some clothing or even stuff that maybe you wouldn't use until it gets a little bit warmer out. Like I had years where I would get so many discs. The first year I was into disc golf, we had a very snowy Christmas, and I went out in like, it was like ice. I went out in like this snow ice and threw all these discs because so you had
lost them all.
Yeah, so you had Christmases like that where it was almost torture because it was like, I got all these cool things, but none of them are really instant gratification.
Yeah.
They're going to be cool when I get to use them or like as I go on. But there are certain gifts. And for me, it was always if I got a new console, like one year I got a DS, like those were the years where it was like instant fun.
For us, it was always what presents are we going to take with us to Edisto? Because we're going to Edisto. You would not usually the next day. This year we're doing the next day, but usually it's the 2 days after Christmas. And so the day after Christmas, it's like our tradition to like, all right, everybody, let's go return the clothes that mom got us that doesn't fit and exchange it for clothes that does fit. That's what because we always like on Christmas try on the clothes like, oh, this doesn't fit. That's okay. Day after Christmas, we're going to the outlets to go exchange them. But you wear all your new clothes like to go out and like I think we literally just go shopping so that we can wear our new clothes.
Yeah, wearing those new outfits is fun.
Yeah, that is very fun. But even though I still hated it anytime I got a box that was soft and I knew had clothes in it because I just wanted to.
I don't know when I started liking clothing. I don't think it took too long for me because like I would get a lot of stuff with sports teams on.
I think even to this day, just because of the muscle memory of seeing that box and then being disappointed,
I get so excited.
I still will be disappointed.
I will say this, like if I at this point, I get some presents from my parents. Usually my wife picks those out. Like they're for us as a couple. But like if I'm getting presents for my wife, like I get excited. I love clothing and it's one thing that's like the most useful to me these days. So I'm excited about it, but I'm always more intrigued if it's a non-clothing box. I'm thinking like, what is my wife, what is she getting from me here that isn't clothing? It's a lot more intriguing. That's for sure.
For me, the clothing is like so exciting for me because there's so much clothing out there that I refuse to buy myself, but I really want.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's so much that like is either like
That's how I felt
too
when I got
expensive to
Lululemon
justify.
joggers last year.
Yeah, like it's like too expensive to justify, or it's like a little edgy to where I'm like, would I really wear it though?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Or it's like a cool pair of shoes or a hat that I really want or whatever. Where like I'm not gonna buy it for myself, but I like all year I'm like hoping someone buys it for me for Christmas.
Yeah.
Right.
So when I get a clothing box from like my parents, my mom, whoever, normally like Liz sends clothing to her mom and dad to buy for me. And whenever I get that clothing box, I'm like, oh, what one of the 95,000 hoodies that I want is this? And it's always, it never disappoints.
That's funny. Except for your socks this year. They're not the ones you want.
That is true. I haven't got them yet. Probably not going to be the ones I want.
However, I should be excited about clothes because pretty much all the cool clothes that I have that people say, dang, that's a really cool shirt or that's really cool or whatever, it's always something that my mom got me.
Like those shoes.
My
mom got you those for Christmas,
my mom did not get me these shoes. No,
she did, bro.
She put them in Plato's closet so you could find them.
Yep,
she told us.
It's true. That's crazy.
That's the banter.
So
what noise should we make?
I think that we should make a present being opened.
Okay, I was gonna go jingle bells, but that's cool.
There we go. I just did.
You go.
That's trash.
That was a really boring person opening present where they like peel the tape up and they like move the box and they peel the tape up and they just open like
they go aggressive.
Yep.
I got it. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe you got me this. Oh, this is what I wanted. Wow, mom and dad, thanks so much.
Never. How
did you make that sound?
Ridiculous.
It was a kid opening the present.
I know. How did you make that sound? How do you have so much built-in compression in your throat? It's crazy.
That's it, man. I got a Shure SM7B. I got a Shure SM7B for a Vogue box, man. A Vogue box. That's what the cool kids call it.